The calendar has turned. Spring training is getting closer. And even as him, there is still a surprising number of high-profile names sitting on the free agent market. That alone keeps the Los Angeles Dodgers right in the center of every major conversation around the league. Because when elite talent is still available this late, people naturally look toward the most aggressive and creative front offices. And despite earlier talk about a quieter offseason, the Dodgers already showed they were willing to make bold moves when they locked in Edwin Diaz on a historic deal, immediately shifting the tone of what this winter could still become. What makes this moment especially interesting is the collection of players still looking for a new home. Names like Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, and Bo Bichette are not role players or short-term patches. These are stars who can reshape a lineup, change defensive alignments, and force opposing teams to rethink how they attack the Dodgers on a nightly basis. Tucker, in particular, continues to draw heavy interest because of what he brings offensively and how seamlessly his skill set would translate into an already dangerous lineup. A hitter with that kind of power, discipline, and postseason experience would only amplify the pressure the Dodgers already put on pitchers from the first inning on. At the same time, there's a familiar storyline resurfacing with Cody Bellinger. His name still carries weight in Los Angeles, and not just because of past accolades. Bellinger represents versatility, something this roster quietly values as much as raw production. He can move across all three outfield spots and slide into first base without disrupting the defensive structure, which gives the coaching staff flexibility during long stretches of the season. That versatility becomes even more important when injuries inevitably test the depth of the roster. Still, there is history there, and that history adds layers to any potential reunion. The Dodgers know exactly who Bellinger is at his best and at his worst, and that familiarity cuts both ways when discussions get serious. Contract structure could ultimately be the deciding factor between these options. The front office has shown interest in shorter, flexible deals that protect long-term planning while still allowing the team to maximize its championship window right now. That approach aligns more naturally with certain players than others, and it keeps the Dodgers positioned to adapt quickly if circumstances change. Whether that means prioritizing Tucker's offensive upside or leaning toward Bellinger's defensive range and positional flexibility, the calculus is about more than just talent. It is about fit, timing, and sustainability. While those conversations swirl, another important storyline is quietly developing on the pitching side, centered around Roki Sasaki. His first season in Los Angeles came with enormous expectations, and it did not unfold smoothly. Early inconsistency combined with a right shoulder injury made it difficult for him to find any rhythm as a starter. The numbers reflected that struggle, and by the time he landed on the injured list, the focus shifted from immediate impact to long-term health. What followed, however, offered a glimpse into why the organization remains so confident in his future. When Sasaki returned late in the season, the role change to the bullpen unlocked something different. He looked freer, more aggressive, and far more in control. That carried directly into October, where he delivered under pressure, including a standout multi-inning performance that swung momentum in a critical postseason matchup. Those moments matter, not just statistically but psychologically, for both the player and the team. They reinforce trust and create belief that his ceiling remains incredibly high. Now the emphasis is on preparation and progression. Sasaki has been open about using that rookie season as motivation, committing himself to being more impactful moving forward. The expectation is that he will rejoin a rotation already loaded with elite arms, which presents its own challenge. With so many high-end starters in the mix, the Dodgers will need to manage workloads carefully and remain creative throughout the season. Depth is a luxury, but it also demands constant adjustment to keep everyone sharp and healthy. Beyond the Dodgers' internal plans, there's also international intrigue surrounding Sasaki. His potential involvement in the upcoming World Baseball Classic adds another layer to the discussion. Representing his country on that stage is an honor, especially after previous success, but it also comes with physical demands. Given his recent injury history, The organization will naturally weigh the risks against the benefits, balancing national pride with long-term objectives for the season ahead. As all of this unfolds, the Dodgers are also keeping a close eye on the position player market beyond the outfield. The lineup showed flashes of dominance last season, but there were stretches where consistency was lacking, particularly when injuries and defensive limitations became more pronounced. That reality has pushed the front office to explore every possible upgrade, including in the infield, where versatility once again plays a key role in decision-making. That brings Bo Bichette into the conversation. A proven hitter with a track record of production, Bichette represents a different kind of upgrade. While his career has primarily been at shortstop, his ability to handle second base opens doors for creative alignment without disrupting established roles. His offensive profile would immediately strengthen the right-handed side of the lineup, adding balance and forcing opposing pitchers to navigate deeper counts with fewer breaks. There are questions, of course, particularly around durability and long-term commitment. Bichette has not logged a full season in recent years, and any extended contract comes with inherent risk. The Dodgers are acutely aware of that, which is why any interest likely depends on flexibility, both in years and structure. Still, the fact that they're monitoring his market speaks to a broader philosophy. Leave no option unexplored, remain patient, and be ready to strike if the conditions align. As the offseason story continues to unfold, the Dodgers find themselves in a familiar position, balancing patience with opportunity. Even after securing a major bullpen piece earlier in the winter, the front office has not treated that move as a final statement. Instead, it feels more like a foundation, a signal that the roster is still being shaped and that there is room for another significant addition if the right situation presents itself. That mindset becomes especially important when so many impact players remain unsigned, creating a market that could shift quickly with one unexpected move. The outfield remains a focal point in those discussions, largely because production there was uneven last season. There were moments when the group looked dominant, but there were also long stretches where defensive limitations and streaky offense put added pressure on the pitching staff. The Dodgers are well aware that championship runs are often decided on the margins, and tightening up defense while adding a reliable bat could be the difference between another deep postseason push and an early exit. That is why names like Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger continue to resurface in internal evaluations. Tucker represents a more straightforward offensive upgrade. His presence in the middle of the order would deepen the lineup and force opposing managers to rethink bullpen usage earlier in games. He brings consistency, power, and an approach that plays in any ballpark, including the unique dimensions of Dodger Stadium. Adding a hitter like that is not just about replacing past production, but about raising the baseline for the entire offense. When pitchers have fewer soft spots to exploit, the ripple effect is felt from the first inning through the ninth. Bellinger, on the other hand, offers a different kind of value. His offensive ceiling may come with more variance, but his defensive range and positional flexibility provide insurance across multiple spots. Over the course of a long season, that kind of adaptability can quietly save wins. It allows the Dodgers to mix and match lineups based on matchups, rest players without sacrificing defense, and respond quickly when injuries arise. The emotional component of a potential return cannot be ignored either, because players with history in an organization often feel an added sense of purpose, especially when their departure did not end on ideal terms. While the outfield gets much of the attention, the infield conversation remains just as intriguing. The Dodgers have shown that they value versatility and athleticism, especially when it allows them to adjust without making wholesale changes. This is where the idea of adding a player like Bo Bichette becomes compelling. His bat alone would justify serious interest, but his ability to adapt to different roles makes him even more attractive. Slotting him into second base while maintaining stability at shortstop would give the lineup a boost without creating defensive chaos. The financial aspect of that pursuit is complex. Bichette's market suggests a long-term commitment, and the Dodgers have historically been selective about tying up years and dollars unless they are fully convinced the fit is right. Durability concerns factor heavily into that evaluation, particularly when recent seasons have included missed time. Still, the organization has a track record of capitalizing when markets cool and expectations shift. If circumstances create an opening for a shorter, more flexible arrangement, the Dodgers are well positioned to act quickly. All of these roster considerations exist alongside the internal development of their pitching staff, which may ultimately be the team's greatest strength. The rotation is stacked with proven talent, and the challenge will be less about finding quality arms and more about managing them effectively. That reality puts additional focus on Roki Sasaki's role as he transitions back toward starting. His postseason performance showed that he can handle pressure, and now the task is translating that confidence into consistent outings over a full season. The Dodgers are known for taking a measured approach with pitchers, especially those coming off injury. Expect careful monitoring, strategic rest, and an emphasis on long-term health rather than short-term gains. That approach could mean creative scheduling, occasional bullpen usage, or even temporary role adjustments as the season unfolds. Depth allows for those choices, and few teams have more of it than Los Angeles. Beyond the domestic season, international commitments add another layer of complexity. The possibility of Sasaki participating in global competition brings pride and exposure, but also risk. The organization will weigh those factors carefully, knowing that every inning thrown has an impact. The goal is to have him at his best when the games matter most, and that requires coordination, trust, and open communication. As spring training approaches, the sense around the Dodgers is not one of urgency, but of readiness. They do not need to rush, because the roster is already capable of contending at the highest level. Yet they remain alert, fully aware that one well-timed move could elevate the team from contender to favorite. That combination of confidence and caution has defined their recent success, and it continues to guide every decision as the offseason slowly gives way to the promise of another championship chase. There's also a strong internal belief that competition within the roster will naturally raise the overall level of play. Younger players understand that opportunities are earned daily, not handed out, and veterans know that complacency is never rewarded. That environment has been carefully cultivated over the years, and it is one of the reasons the Dodgers are comfortable keeping options open deep into the offseason. They trust their structure enough to let situations develop instead of forcing decisions that could limit flexibility later. Another factor quietly influencing these discussions is how the Dodgers project matchups in October. Regular season success is important, but this organization consistently builds with postseason baseball in mind. They look at how a lineup stacks against elite pitching, how defensive alignment holds up in close games, and how adaptable the roster is when facing unfamiliar opponents. Every potential addition is evaluated through that lens, whether it is a power bat, a versatile defender, or an arm capable of shifting roles when the moment demands it. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the baseball world, the Los Angeles Dodgers are reportedly making headlines with a surprising roster shakeup. Sources suggest that the team has quietly signed a major reinforcement, immediately followed by the unexpected release of a veteran player who has been a familiar presence in the clubhouse for years. While the Dodgers have not officially confirmed the details, insiders hint that this could signal a strategic shift as the team looks to bolster its lineup with fresh talent, perhaps aiming to address weaknesses that have lingered through the season. Fans are buzzing with speculation about the identity of the new signing. Some speculate it could be a high-profile hitter capable of changing the dynamics of the Dodgers' offensive strategy, while others wonder if the team is banking on a young prospect with breakout potential. The veteran who was cut has long been considered a stabilizing force on and off the field, making this move all the more surprising. Sources close to the team suggest that the decision was difficult but may reflect the organization's desire to inject new energy and versatility into the roster. Analysts are already debating the potential impact of this shakeup. Will the new addition immediately contribute to the team's performance, Or is this a calculated gamble aimed at long-term gains? Dodgers fans are split, with some expressing excitement about the possibility of a new star in the lineup, while others are mourning the loss of a familiar face who has contributed consistently over the years. Social media has erupted with theories, ranging from trade rumors to speculation about the internal dynamics that could have influenced this bold move. While the official announcement remains pending, one thing is clear: the Dodgers are making a statement. This rumored signing and the corresponding veteran cut could mark a pivotal moment in the team's ongoing strategy to stay competitive in a league where every move counts. Whether this gamble pays off immediately or unfolds over the coming months, the baseball world is watching closely, eager to see how this high-stakes maneuver will reshape the Dodger season. For now, fans can only speculate and wait for confirmation that could redefine expectations for one of baseball's most storied franchises. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.